Welcome back to the Breakout from Burnout podcast. This is the Triumph Over Burnout Mom series, and I have some very special guests with me here today. So before I introduce them, I just want to let you know a little about myself. My name is Aisha Muhammad. I am the host and creator of the Breakout from Burnout podcast. I'm certified life coach and I help women who are moms and in business and struggling to find a balance between their family life and their business. And whilst doing my market research, speaking to lots of moms and also working with clients, I came to find that when it came to this thing called burnout, it was a real big factor. But some awareness and education was very much needed so that these moms could see the urgency of why they needed to act, of what all of the things they were experiencing was actually, when you put it all together, was and is, which is burnout, which is feeling, tired, exhausted, withdrawn, feeling very much overwhelmed and anxious, feeling disconnected from the people, places, and things that really used to light you up. Maybe suffering from gut issues, from headaches, just not feeling like things are manageable and being stressed and not really knowing what's happening or what you should be doing about it. Because 9 times out of 10, your personality type, the way that you cope and do things, because it's just innate in being a woman, is to get on with it and to keep on going until the job gets done. So I really found it a part of my responsibility and have now taken it on as my mission to inform and make aware and educate women, mums, everybody, in fact, on this thing called burnout. So today I have some very special guests with me. I have brother Marcus Peace and sister Cecilia, and they are the marriage keepers. Now they are here today because burnout affects relationships. Okay, um, it can tear through them. As you may suffer with feelings of resentment, lack of reciprocity, maybe not feeling appreciated and just feeling so exhausted that you don't have anything left to really cater to your relationship or to your marriage. And often what happens is that marriages and relationships start to encounter problems and breakdown. And this is where the services of Brother Marcus and Sister Cecilia come into play. So I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves to you and tell you about what it is they do and how they help. So welcome, Brother Marcus and Sister Cecilia. Tell
Thank
us
you.
about yourselves and what you do.
Well, we are, thank you so much for having us on the show. We really, really appreciate it. We are the marriage keepers. And as you can see behind us, fight for your marriage. That's the basis of everything that we do with the marriage keepers, from single success seminar weekends to one-on-one counseling with couples to workshops, trainings, family counseling, whatever is needed to make someone whole, to help them in the process of, like you said, whether it's burnout, stress in a relationship. So we basically do everything really pertaining to relationships. And it started really in, I would say, this is our 12th annual marriage retreat coming up. So it's 12 years of doing the marriage retreat. However, dealing with youth and adult intervention services, that has been in existence since 1999.
Wow, that is absolutely awesome. You must have helped so many couples, keep their marriage together, which is so needed in this society whereby, divorces are happening all the time. So tell me, have you encountered couples whereby, it had been impacted by burnout, and give us some insight into what that looked like and how you were able to assist.
Well, burnout, and I should say, welcome. Thank you for the opportunity to be on your wonderful show, sister.
You're
Uh,
welcome.
I am very concerned about burnout because we're in the marriage field, and you can't really see burnout until a person gets to a point where they can't take it anymore in the marriage. And a lot of us are going through minor and major burnout. Burnout is a process that happens gradually to the relationship, and you want to be able to find it's going on and identify and do something to stop it. A lot of us have never dealt with burnout before, but we are facing it in 2022. A lot of us are not sure what to do. So your show is very valuable to people who are unsure what to do about burnout. We face it in our marriages, and so we try our best to give tips and tools to avoid the burnout. And I can tell you, boredom, if you're finding yourself bored a whole lot, that's a sign that you might be burned out. You know, when you are a person who is not connecting to things emotionally anymore, you're kind of doing it's routine now to do the things that you're doing.
Mhm.
That's a sign that you are being burned out. And you got to take frequent breaks away from everything and everybody and go somewhere in your marriage, particularly. You got to get out of the environment that you are in as much as possible. We recommend every year at least 4 breaks, at least 4 breaks. To every quarter, you got to take a break that takes you out of the home. You got to go somewhere that's different, different scenery, different environment, and you need to try to get back the spark between you and her and you. That's so critical if we're going to be successful in dealing with burnout.
Yeah, yeah, because it affects communication
It does.
because you feel very distant and withdrawn and not very present when you're going through burnout. Um, and the exhaustion can be overwhelming. And this often drains and leaves the party that's feeling burnt out as though they have nothing more to give.
Yes, that's right, sister. That's very true. When you lose spontaneity, when you lose creativity and vitality, that can be the hallmark of burnout. Burnout getting ready to set into your life. And we want to be able, through the retreat that we're doing this year, to address burnout with the couples who come to the 12th annual marriage retreat.
Yeah. And I'd imagine that you're probably seeing it more and more now because burnout was something that was very much germane to the office environment. That's where it was first identified in being a real life phenomenon. And it has now transcended into every other area of life. In speaking to women, they come from all walks of life. Some of them are business women, some of them are stay-at-home moms, some of them are caregivers. Some of them are, high achieving professionals, but it's there. And it's even being said that even children can suffer from burnout because you mentioned the youth as well. I think in going through a pandemic and just some of the things that in this modern age that we're having to deal with, this is an outcome from that we have to recognize and tackle. So it's great that they're doing the work that you are, with married couples, and tell us the more about how you're going to be helping them on your upcoming retreat.
Yes, ma'am. Well, like I said, my husband just mentioned one of the key factors is with the marriage retreat, it's a child-free zone, which means you leave work, you leave school, everything that you normally do. You're retreating. You're leaving that environment to go somewhere where it's just you and your husband, you and your wife together in a nice hotel, and you're together for 4 or 5 days, and you're able to talk and communicate. We go out to dinners in the evening. This year, inshallah, Saturday, we will be having a ball. So we're going to be able to get all dressed up and get all jazzed up and take some gorgeous pictures. So it's really having that time. We are getting burned out because we go from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing to thing. Once you come home and you've had a long day, you had a stressful day, what are you doing to bring yourself down? What are you doing to calm on a daily? Even if it's just when you come home, there's 10,000 things that have to be done, right. But I'm going to take me 15 minutes just to sit down, take my clothes off, whatever your process is, have a daily process. Mm-hmm. Have a once a month. What weekend am I going to devote to, if it's not the whole weekend, a Saturday or a Sunday where I don't do nothing I normally do? Let me have some me time, whether it's running, jog, whatever it is that you like to do. Have that at least one weekend a month. So you're doing daily, you're doing something on a weekend, and then like my husband mentioned, a quarter. Okay, a quarter means, okay, we're going to go away for the weekend. We're going to leave or take off on that Friday, and we're going to be going Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and come back either Sunday night or Monday morning, depending on your schedule. But again, it's being purposeful, right, so that we don't get to the point of burnout, right, because we know that it's too much going on, and burnout can, like you mentioned earlier, it leads to a lot of health issues. You're not satisfied with nothing in your life because you're so exhausted, and you are so exhausted, and we're getting up every day exhausted. We were traveling 2 weekends ago, and I said, let me Google how much money the energy drink industry is making. Billions of dollars, because we don't have the natural energy no more. And I got to drink this 8-hour energy with a paragraph of ingredients to get through my day because we're so exhausted. But if we are taking those times to be purposeful in your personal development, nothing should be more important than you taking care of yourself first. And I'm telling you this from experience.
And that's good, because I wanted to ask you, Sister Cecelia, have you personally had an experience with burnout? Because I know that you're a mom of multiple children. I know you're active in the community, and you also have the work that you're doing alongside your husband. So did you ever burn out?
Oh, of course. And I knew I was at burnout because I got evil. I was snapping and just, you know when you are overwhelmed. You know when you have a lot. And like I said, by God's grace, we have 6 children. And I was a full-time wife for 20 years. And then we always had our own work. My husband is a student minister, so it's always something going on, always activities. And then now, thank God, I'm empty nesting. So I do a lot more things now, but we make it again a point to do something daily on the week, like at least once a month for me. I know I have to rest a Saturday or Sunday. And these last couple of months, like the last 3 months, we've been busy every weekend traveling. So last Sunday was the first time we both rested. We was like, okay, it just happened like that. But You have to be purposeful in making that happen to get you some me time. And then last Sunday, I did some artwork. I love abstract. And that was the first time in years that I took 2 hours and I just went on my porch in the hot sun, getting my vitamin D and painted me an abstract piece of art. So whatever it is that you love to do, make sure you put that in your life to bring you that harmony and that peace to prevent. That's what we're all about by Allah's grace with the Marriage Keepers and everything that we do. It is designed to give people the tools before you hit the wall. We wear our seatbelts and the what they call it, the airbags. And so if you get in an accident, the airbags will deploy. Well, by Allah's grace, that's how we look at the Marriage Keepers and everything we do. We're giving you the advanced tools to prevent the burnout, to prevent the divorce, to prevent. It's all preventive medicine that we are by Allah's grace giving people, because it's little things that if we do it daily, it makes a humongous difference.
It does. And you mentioned quite a few things there, like, hobbies, doing things that you enjoy. And sometimes as women, we can become so immersed in the other things that we forget those things that we actually like to do, the hobbies and stuff, or the social meetups, and kind of say goodbye to those sides of self and kind of lose ourselves, especially in a marriage as well. If you are a stay-at-home mom, or the woman, the wife that's heavily invested in assisting her husband and the vision that they share, sometimes as women, we can actually get lost in that. And we don't do the self-care, and we don't do the hobbies, and we don't hook up with our friends as much as we should. And then that ends up being a factor in the burnout, because things are very unbalanced. It can't be all family and no recreation with friends. You have to keep an eye on those things, because many women do talk about, as part of their burnout, losing themselves.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We lose ourselves because we wear many hats. And when you wear many hats, again, we go from, okay, I dropped the children off at school. I got to go food shopping. I got to take my mother to the doctor. Then from there, I got to go do this. Then I got to go do that. Then my husband needs this. Then it's like 10,000 things. But guess what? I have the power over my schedule. And there's a magical word I want everyone to learn today. The power of the word, no, I cannot. No, I will not. It is my time. This is on my schedule. No is because we, like you said, there's so many reasons we say yes, 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 yes. No. When I learned that magical word, no, my burnout became less.
Yeah, that's a power word.
Yes,
that really is. Yeah,
absolutely.
What I found is that there's certain personality types that feed into the likelihood of one becoming burnt out, and one of them is the people pleaser. And once you find that you are that kind of person, you'll identify yourself quite quickly, because you will very much struggle with the ability to say no. And it's so powerful to be able to say that without apology.
That's right.
Because you just cannot possibly take on everything and please everyone. And if you have your own goals and, mission that you are trying to accomplish, you have to give your time to that. And you have to not allow the demands of others to take you off course.
That's right.
So you have to honor yourself and your obligations in order to succeed in those things that are very core to you and who you are and who you're becoming and your life purpose. And many allow themselves to be sabotaged when they say yes to everyone, denying themselves and growing very resentful with themselves, because They go away feeling, oh, I really don't want to do that. I know I don't want to do that. Now I've got to do that. And then the overwhelm comes, and then the feelings of resentment come, and you can find yourself in a negative space. So once you learn to say no, that is where you honor yourself and don't take on that which is not yours. Because 9 out of 10, we can often feel that everything's going to fall down if we're not the one to do it. But the fact is, it won't. It will get done. Somebody else is going to have to step in. It does not always have to be you. And that is important to come to that mindset and just make that shift so that you're confident in knowing that that is the case and don't constantly allow yourself to be put upon. So the power of no, very important. Another thing is, as a mom, when you do set the standard as to say, there's something called me time. There's a time where I don't want to be disturbed. There's a time where, I have to spend time with myself to be, that is honored and that is seen as being normal, because our children watch us, and many of us who have suffered from burnout, what we're starting to uncover when we actually step back and look into what's happening or what's happened to us concerning burnout, we identify the fact that these behaviors we picked up from our mothers or our grandmothers. So we just remodeled that behavior pattern, which was then serving everybody else and leaving themselves more or less till last. So with the shift in mindset, we're now in a position to teach via example our children, so that us taking care of ourselves is actually the norm. It's something that they grew up seeing. It's something that they know that they should do. And whether those children are male or female, they have that understanding, and then therefore they can remodel that. And I think that is a way of burnout prevention, and if it can work its way into our culture, because as Black women, we have the strong Black woman narrative that is just so out there, and there's nothing wrong with being strong or resilient, but then we have to examine, what does that look like in 2022? Because it's not saying yes to everybody, it's not neglecting yourself and putting yourself last, it's not ignoring the signs of your body and, steaming on ahead to be able to execute and accomplish the goal. It looks very different. There are some skills that you have to have in being able to say no, be able to look at your self-care, which is not painting your fingernails, doing your hair and your toes and going to the spa for a day. That's self-maintenance. But self-care, that's something much deeper, where you look at how do you need to nourish yourself, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, to be able to feel whole and, love on yourself. It's far different to what comes to mind when people say self-care. So what is it to be strong in 2022? And I think once the woman is able to identify that for herself, like it's okay to ask for help, it's not weakness. It's okay to say no. It's great to delegate and all of these different things. She's going to show up different in her marriage. And she's going to show up different in her ability to parent as well.
Exactly. Absolutely correct. Brother Marcus?
No, I'm listening to you, and I'm just so in awe about our topic today, because stress and burnout is so significant to us all. Life is full of pressure and expectations. And the expectation is that you're going to probably say yes. That's what they're banking on with you. If you're a person who is always saying yes to everybody, they don't put less work on you. They put more work on you, because they know that you are willing to do the work. And you have to, as Sister Cecelia just eloquently stated, you have to learn the value of yourself. You have to learn how to say no and mean it. I shouldn't have to come behind my no with explanation to everybody of why I'm saying no. I'm saying no because I need my rest. Most of us are tired because we're not resting at all when we go home. We got 4 or 5 hours of sleep and then we're back at it. You have to slow down because I'm looking at Facebook, I'm looking at my Facebook feed, I'm looking at my Instagram feed, and people are dying like it's going out of style. And I don't want to die earlier than I have to go, because I know I got to go, but how I go, how early I go is contingent upon me saying no in my life. I've learned after 30 years, because we are coming up on our 30th anniversary.
It's beautiful.
As well on July 4th. We've learned that we don't have to say yes to everybody, to everything that they're asking us. Some things require you to say no. I cannot do that. It is not a crime for you to say no. I cannot do that. You got to learn the value of saying no. Say it with me, audience. No, I can't do it. I'm sorry, I cannot. You have to practice that, believe it or not, because you are made to feel so guilty when you don't say no. You talk about people pleasers. I can guarantee you the people person, the person that's trying to please everybody is really please themselves because they've never learned to say no to anybody. And I can tell you that that's a crime in itself. And it takes somebody's skill to help you to say no. It takes somebody looking at you, watching your characteristics, your behavior over a few months to tell you that you say no, you say yes to everybody, and you really need to learn how to say no. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And say yes to yourself.
Say yes to myself.
Yeah. Wow. Awesome. I've really enjoyed this discussion. Now, this awesome retreat of yours, I understand it's going to be online as well as in person. And the details are that's on the 12th annual marriage retreat, Thursday, August 25th to the 28th of this year. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell us?
That they can go to the website, the www.themarriagekeepers.com. You can register. You can also see the agenda and then also go to Brother Marcus Peace on Facebook. We are selling t-shirts with this wonderful logo on the back of us to help raise funds as well. So you can just click on the t-shirt, purchase a t-shirt, and you can make additional donations as well. Because again, this work takes a lot of money. And by God's grace, we're wanting it to grow bigger. There's plans we have in the works by the help of Almighty God, Allah. And in order to do that, we need funds. So if you can go there and again, click on Brother Marcus Peace on Facebook, and you will see the t-shirts that we are selling with the logo behind us so that, again, it can help us with the marriage retreat and some other programs and things on our agenda to continue this work.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, if you want to work with me as a life coach, I am here to help. And if you want to follow me for a tip, then you can do so on Instagram under the handle of Breakout from Burnout, or over here on my personal Facebook page, which is simply Aisha Muhammad. Or I have a business page also, which is Burnout Coach Aisha Muhammad. You can find me. We can chop it up, and I can help you to change your current situation into one whereby you will be much more happier, much more calm, much more confident. Because this is one of the things that we crave. We want to have control of our lives, and we're trying to balance our family life and our business. So we have to be rounded and whole. And if there's you know, some unbalance in one area is going to affect the other. So it's very necessary to get a handle on that. So I thank everyone for joining us today. I will be back next Tuesday with another awesome guest who will be sharing with us their burnout story, what it was like, how they were able to overcome, and how they are serving people now. So until next time, you take care. Thank you for joining us. Bye.